Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. 14th of November 2024 is the date set aside to hear the judgment. Don't forget that there have been series of petitions filed by Martin Amohile and his group, and one of them we're going to get to hear the verdict on the 14th, so please keep it there with us as we give you that as well. But while we are waiting for that verdict, just some few hours ago, there was some Thanksgiving celebration made in honor, of course, by Martin Amohile and his deputy. Nigerians are wondering, every day Thanksgiving, we're going to find out as they rolled out a press release, and most Nigerians are asking, what is the content? We're going to give you the full details in a moment. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, according to the news, one of the ProWike lawmakers opened up and in a press conference held by the Wike Generation Nest in Port Harcourt said a lot. Now, they said, according to them, they said, "Gentlemen of the press, welcome to this press conference. We deem it highly obligatory to address you on the malicious mechanization of the governor and the meant to induce some obscure and faceless civil society groups to stage a protest against the judiciary in the capital city of Abuja. They plan to do a lot over the presiding judges over cases involving the current constitutional crisis in the state to whip up sentiment and sympathy in a bid to sway the will of justice. It has been uncovered that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will not also be spared by the rented protesters. We have it on good authority that the governor, through his surrogates, held a clandestine meeting with leaders of these groups in Abuja on Thursday, November 7th, 2024, and our scarce resources meant for the development of River State was doled out to them to mobilize for the protest. Now, in the face of this, they now mentioned that we should look at this. 1. The pronouncement Justice Kolawole Omotosho of the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja on the 2024 appropriation bill and the leadership of the River State House of Assembly, as well as the consequent affirmation by the Court of Appeal and nothing but the rule of law speaking in its purest form, devoid of any outer information or bias. They said, 2, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu brokered peace between the warring divide, setting the stage for Governor Fubara to concentrate on governance. Unfortunately, he and some others who have vested interest in the crisis and were benefiting from it said that the president lacks the power to prefer political solution on issues that require constitutional processes. The governor consequently just signed the Abuja Accord, called it an unconstitutional one and a mere piece of tissue paper, and went ahead to choose the winner takes it all part. 3. Justice Joyce Abdul Malik's ruling stopping the Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing federal allocation to River State government until the 2024 appropriation bill is presented to a properly constituted House of Assembly is backed by Section 120, subsection 2, 3, and 4, Section 121, and Section 122 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. 4. We would like to remind Nigerians that Governor Fubara is the one punishing Rivers people by spending without appropriation in a democratic setting, not the judiciary nor River State as House of Assembly, who are only performing their constitutional duties. 5. It is imperative to note that Sir Siminalayi Fubara picked struggling for a political structure. He does not know how it was built over the option of peacefully delivering good governance to River State, which was provided by President Tinubu's peace move. 6. The governor has even gone ahead to tell his supporters that in the coming days he will present the 2025 budget before a forum of 3, which is an aberration to our constitution. The Court of Appeal, in a landmark judgment, berated him for presenting budget to a forum of 4. In conclusion, we want to inform Rivers people and Nigerians at large that we will not be where we are today if Governor Fubara had obeyed Justice J.K. Omotosho's judgment by presenting the budget to the State House of Assembly. We advise him to obey the Constitution because, We advise him to obey the Constitution which he swore to uphold and defend to avert our dear state being plunged into deeper political imbroglio. We call on the security agencies to be on high alert over these disgruntled elements who would want to go to any length to foment trouble, intimidate, threaten, and cow the judiciary to do their bidding. Thank you and God bless. Signed, Okazu Powers, President General, and of course the Secretary, Dixon Sanibo. Now the question now is, they said 14th is a date to keep for one of the judgment, and they're already warning ahead that they don't want to hear that there is any protest out there. The question is, do they have an idea of what the judgment will look like? My colleague is in the house. What's your take on one of all the things they listed as the rightful thing and the Fubara was doing the wrong thing?
Well, for me, these are politicians talking, and when politicians want to talk, they will never go the right path. They'll always put it in such a way that their goodness will be, in front and behind. And that's exactly what they just pointed out there. In all of this disclosure, he never mentioned that they decamped. He never mentioned it. Now, if anyone will stand against Fubara presenting the budget, 2024 budget, to 4-man House of Assembly, the big question is, why did he do it? That should be the beginning of the investigation. Why did he do it? And then he will say that as at the time I ought to present it, these guys, they cross-carpeted to APC. And by constitution, if you cross-carpet to APC, cross-carpet to the party with which you were not, elected into office, you are sure to lose your position. And so immediately, the sitting speaker, the person who assumed the position of the sitting speaker when they cross-carpeted, notified INEC that based on the provision of the constitution, they are not lawmakers again. So that was why we waited. We had to present it. And there would have been a representation if after 90 days. But what did they do? They ran in and they informed the court immediately not to allow INEC to carry out that election. And thereby deterring, because whether you like it or not, by constitution, except they are going to go against the constitution, by constitution, there were no more lawmakers again. So coming to present something as budget, as important as budget, before committees of friends of the governor, it's wrong. Or committee of friends of Wike, or committee of friends of Rivers State, is absolutely wrong. It is meant to be presented to lawmakers. So what did he do? The available lawmakers, he presented it before them, waiting for maybe the elections to hold, and he will go and represent it, because the state needs to run whether you like it or not. They did not mention that. And if you notice in all the write-up, one thing very interesting is that they were dragging the president into it, trying to paint a picture of giving their own verdicts in respect to the character of Fubara. I don't know, maybe they're trying to whip up sentiment and all of that. But I feel that the president has a lot to do. So mingling into those kind of things, it's not important. It's before the court, and let the court handle it. And I feel at this point that the CGN should use this time to cap her respect from Nigerians, by doing what is right. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm troubled, just as you rightly pointed out. I'm troubled that they are already coming out to raise alarm that people are going to talk down or protest and all of that, which means, you understand, we're going to talk down on the judgment, which means they already know. They are trying to leave a hint that, hey, this is where it's going to go. And then, Fubara is going to do this and do. So all of that for me is uncalled for. What started this whole thing? Why should a rational thinking governor who had served in the capacity of accountant general, who is a 16-level civil servant, decide to pick 4 people to present budget to? The question, that is where the crux of the issue is. What happened? And I think with that alone, all of these issues that we are battling with will be concluded.
All right, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Listen to that. What's your take? What do you think would look? How do you think? What do you think the November 14th verdict would look like? Already, they're giving us an indication that there may likely be some level of protest. Why would there be a protest if we are sure the verdict would go the right way?